alaikum and a very good morning to you all. I hope you guys are doing very well today and you're ready to start your day with Shazad Khan and Maha Mukhtoom. Assalamu alaikum, Shazad, how are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm absolutely perfect. And ladies and gentlemen, there was a bit of hassle before we got started with the show because we were just deciding who's going to start the show, and then Maha said something very amazing, and it made me laugh.
No, because you know what? No, because you know what? Like, you have a great hello. You know, it's a universal hello with all the hellos of the world, which is going to take over the show one day, like I keep saying. But, you know, I got fed up of waiting. Like this week, I was like, no, I want
It's perfectly all right. You know, we work as a team, and I think this is what we have to keep in our minds as well. And for everybody who's out there, you know, if you work as a team, please make sure that you give everybody a chance to be in the spotlight.
Exactly. So with that, I did the hellos, and it was such a... It wasn't a great hello. I think I need to learn some more languages.
It was superb.
I should learn some languages.
I mean, even if you say hi with a great smile or a bigger smile, I think that's great.
Maybe. And I also realized I started saying like the hellos like you do, and then I realized I don't know the foreign ones.
So let's give it a try, though.
Okay,
let's do it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What?
All those hellos you can say. Come on, you can say quite a lot.
No, bonjour.
Yeah.
Guten Tag. Hola. Hello.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum.
Tuna shume. Assalamu alaikum. Washmale. Hi, Ms. Gonzalez. Okay, so all of Shazad.
We are there now.
Okay, these are all of Shazad's, but we have a wonderful show for you. We have some wonderful guests to discuss about Pakistan actually today. So, but before that, should we get started with the news?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's take a look around the globe. Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi will address the UN General Assembly session in New York on Thursday.
The Election Commission has expressed satisfaction over successful and peaceful conclusion of the NA 120 bypolls in Lahore.
A 5-day anti-polio campaign is underway in different parts of the country.
And the Asian Peace Film Festival is underway in Islamabad, which is so great. And I'm so glad we found out about it today.
Pakistani film Sawan, based on a true story, is being well received in cinemas across the country.
Amazing. And the Emmys Awards was peppered with political jokes and pointed speeches as host Stephen Colbert took shots at U.S. President Donald Trump, and Sean Spicer made a surprise appearance.
Wow.
I watched a little bit of it yesterday.
When are we going to get one?
I think.
Pakistan is occupying 8th position with 9 medals, including 2 gold in different categories at 5th Asian Indoor and Martial Art Games in Ashgabat.
Welcome back, everyone. And you know what I've noticed? Sometimes, like, when we start the show, I start stuttering.
Yeah.
I get, like, stuck on the words. Don't know. I think we just need to wake up. But now, Shazad, she's going to give us our public service message today.
So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, me being under the spotlight. So, public service message is obviously about the anti-polio campaign, which is going on. And for every parent who are out there, please make sure when they come to you, you cooperate and you bring in your child, and please make sure that they drink the drops as well, because these are very essential for us to get rid of such a menace, which is probably existent in only 2 countries now, all around the globe. So please make sure that you cooperate.
And like, stay away from the conspiracies and all these kind of tall tales. It's for your benefit, really, because you're going to just destroy your child's life. So. And it's going to be more hassle for you in the long run. So do cooperate.
And we've done quite a lot of shows about the vaccine as well. There's no infertility within the vaccines. Please make sure that you do not listen to any such rubbish news.
Exactly. So cooperate. So now, Shazad, we have a very interesting guest today.
Exactly. So we keep on saying that, we have to promote the soft image of Pakistan, but obviously, we do have a certain limitation to that as well.
Exactly.
We can sit on this couch, we can talk to people, we can go into different countries, but then there are people who come over here, you know, have a perception of what the country is like, and then go over there and then make a statement, which kind of gets viral too.
Exactly. I mean, the reason why I'm sitting here is that was the whole reason to project the positive image, because the counter narrative is not strong in the rest of the world. You have all the negative news that comes out, and negativity sells more than the positive aspect. So people, like Shahzad said, they have come into Pakistan, they have ventured to the area, and they've, you know, been pleasantly surprised, and then they've gone back and they've said really good stuff. And you know, I've gone back to England and I've noticed that these things do make an impact, and even if it's one person, that's how it happens. It's a knock-on effect.
So whenever you go back, Maha, before starting the show, what do you say to people about Pakistan?
That everyone's like, oh my gosh, like that's so scary. I was like, no, it's not that scary. It's pretty easy, and my life is pretty good there. And you know, you need to check it out. It's one of the most beautiful countries.
And I think one of the
I
best.
live there alone. Like as a female, I'm living in a Muslim country in Pakistan, which people don't really imagine people doing.
I think that's a great news for all those other people who are out there in 46 different countries. But let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. We have been joined by somebody from Ireland. Who is?
Who is William Mara. He is an investigative travel blogger, and he is ready for the road, called readyforroad.com.
Readyforroad.com, yeah. Thanks very much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be here. Yeah,
so first of all, who is an investigative travel blogger?
I guess that's actually a term I completely pulled out of thin air, and the main reason for that is there's no one else that really tries to go and uncover the truths. So I started kind of traveling about maybe 2 to 3 years ago to try and get over a lot of grieving that I was doing from my mother passing away. And that brought me to most of the countries in Asia, but when I was finally kind of given a beckon towards coming towards Pakistan, I'll be honest, I was a little bit terrified. I was in the middle of a meditation retreat, and I was talking to a guy from Finland, and he said, where are you going next? And I said, I'm going back to India. I might stay in an ashram for a while. And he said, no, don't bother. You're wasting your time. If you want a real good cultural experience, you should go to Pakistan. Now, I thought he was crazy, right? But when I finally got the visa and I got on the plane, I was terrified. But when I finally arrived, I couldn't believe how different it was from the truth, you know? Because all I'd ever heard from the media in the West was this demonization. I was expecting to land into a war-torn hellhole. I was expecting people to be very suspicious, looking from behind closed windows. When I got here, everyone's like, would you like some tea? This is my family. They'll take a week off work and show you around. I went to the chemist to buy some painkillers, and they were like, yes, but first, have some tea, you know? It was just the nicest experience. I couldn't believe it, you know? And the two guys that I brought with me had an equally amazing experience where they thought the hospitality was amazing. They thought the north was this beautiful vista of, you know, wide sweeping panoramic views of high altitude peaks, and the people were like almost so nice, because when you're in places like you're in India or Nepal or whatever, people are trying to get like every little rupee out of it, you know? They're trying to scam you as much as possible, but here everyone's trying to give you something. So you're rich, and initially you're a little bit suspicious. You're like, why are these people being so bloody nice? And then you realize it's part of the culture. It's part of the way people are here, and it's just blew my mind. So since then I've been trying to, you know, visit a lot of these kind of countries where I've been demonized by Western media to uncover the truth, by going to places like Iran and Iraq and actually find out what's going on the ground and realizing that, like, wow, we have it all wrong. We have it all wrong in the West.
All right, we'll definitely talk about that, but now what I want to ask is, since there are two other people who are accompanying you as well, so have you guys had biryani so far?
We had biryani, karahi. We've had pretty much a good broad spectrum of the foods, really, really nice. All the way from, like, you know, food underneath the power transformer in the middle of a market in Lahore, all the way to some of the finest meals in Manal at the top of the Margala Hills here in Islamabad. And all across the board, the food is being amazing.
Okay, so for you, what is your favorite? Okay, now we're on food, might as well ask a question while we're here. So what is your favorite dish? What is your favorite delicacy or
Definitely biryani. Right, I know
it's a universal favorite.
I think it really is. But the group, I brought a group this time because I was determined to try and bring as many people back with me to show them just how wonderful this is as a country to visit. And they all said biryani is their favorite as well.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so let's move on to this. So you came last time with two friends. That was, you know, more of a personal journey for you.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, so you went back, and but before you decided to come back and bring a lot of people, you did a lot of work. You did a lot of talking.
There was a lot of
exposure there.
Media. I was on Irish TV chat shows and giving interviews to papers and just trying to create a counter narrative to what's already out there and allow people to be like, you know what, maybe what we're reading every day isn't exactly a true and accurate reflection.
Okay, so when you were out there, when you were on the Irish television or the radio, and you're talking about that Pakistan isn't how people have made it out to be. It's, you know, I've been there. The people are lovely. You know, they're hospitable and they're nice people. How did people react to it? Did they believe you? Was there a lot of like skepticism? How was it?
Yeah, there was mixed reviews. Like, for example, a lot of the times the interviewers would be like, and were you not scared? And was it not dangerous? Were your parents not worried for you, you know? Because they've been hardwired for years and years and years. So even they're listening to me and they're not giving me a fair chance to say it. But after time, when you explain your experiences and the stories that you have, they start going, wow, maybe we should all go, you know? But initially, like, you know, for example, a lot of the newspaper articles online, you'd see people underneath being like, he mustn't care about his relatives because they're clearly going to be very sick and worried that he's going to be away in these dangerous places. And so there's a lot more work to be done.
Okay,
Exactly.
I want to ask this question before we move on.
sure.
Sorry. Now, when you you've been here, when you go back and you're facing this, how do you make someone realize that, look, listen, it's not that bad. Like, you just need to just calm down a bit. Because for me, I get a bit frustrated at
No,
times.
because we do have people who just do not want to agree to
They don't want to
whatever
believe
reality
it.
is.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine you're walking down a street.
Yeah.
And you see a menu on the wall and you look at it and you go, wow, that food must be good. Till you actually go in and taste it, do you really know?
Yeah.
And so I can say, you know what, it's a really great country, it's really safe, amazing hospitality, beautiful in the north and everything else, but until they actually come and see it, will they actually understand? So I oftentimes use a lot of video, I use a lot of photos, and now that I have a lot of people that have come with me, they're going to share in that experience as well.
Exactly. Now, before you were about to leave, when it was your first trip and when you were sort of meditating as well. So when you had this idea of traveling the Asia as well, so do you think that there were people within your family who said that, oh, are you sure that you want to travel to these places, or were they scared, were they terrified, if these are the terms we're going to use?
I think after a lot of the trouble that we've been through in our family, with my mother passing and the kind of the concourse of her life, my father was very supportive. He said, I know you need to kind of just go away for a while, you need to explore and you need to just kind of lose your mind to find it. So he was quite supportive. Now, he was a bit kind of worried at times when he had friends ringing him because, see, he's not on Facebook, right, because he's 74 years of age.
Okay.
He can't turn on a computer. But a lot of his friends who will be friends with me are ringing him and saying, I think your son is in a place that he probably shouldn't be. And he was always kind of like, you know what, he knows what he's doing.
Okay.
And he's been doing this for a while now, so he's totally fine.
Wow.
Excellent. That's really good support from your father.
Really is.
Now, when you
What's
went
his name though?
Walter.
Walter, so wherever you are right now, I think probably in Ireland, I think your son's doing a great job, and it's a rich tribute to you too for keeping up or probably putting in the effort.
Yeah, exactly. So now, when you went back and you decided to bring people back here, you initially had an interest of over 30 people, but that whittled down to just under 10.
Yeah, like I had so much energy behind it. I went to meet the Pakistani ambassador in Dublin. And
I was watching your Facebook. I was like, he really likes Pakistan.
Maybe a little bit too much. And I'm sitting in his house and I'm saying, listen, there needs to be something that we can do to, like, you know, make Irish people more interested in Pakistan as an adventure travel destination. It's absolutely amazing. And he, you know, wholeheartedly agreed. And so I went and put out, like, you know, to as many people as possible, to all my mailing lists, to all my social media channels. I said, I'm going to Pakistan. I want to put together a trip. If you want to come with me, let me know, and I'll organize everything. You just have to come and see it. And the feedback, because they'd seen all my stuff online, they were like, it looks amazing. You know what? I'm going to do it. And then there were some security kind of issues that happened in Lahore near the start of this year. And one by one, I was getting mails and Facebook messages and texts being like, hey, my partner doesn't really feel happy with me going anymore, or my parents just saw this in the news, they don't want me there. I was like, okay, so now I'm down to 6 people. But you know what? The 6 people that came absolutely love it. They were like team players. They were jumping in to meet people, and they were fascinated by the place, and they're all going away with glowing
That is
reviews.
amazing, and I think I'm going to throw my joke in away again, and that is that, you know, when you make a plan alongside your friends, so it's like 10 of you sitting down on a couch, and you're like, oh yeah, you know, we should go to the north this summer, and all 10 will say, yeah, let's go. So when are we going? We're going 2 weeks after. All right, so the later week, you see your friends, and it's just 5 of them. Oh yeah, we'll go. And the day when you are actually supposed to leave, it's just you, so then you forget the idea. All right, leave it, and we'll go sometime else as well.
Yeah.
So I think this is what happened. But now let's talk about from the perspective of all of those other 6 people who are actually traveling with you. So what do they like the most as well? I mean, we did wanting to accommodate them.
But they've left,
yeah,
right?
we couldn't do it.
Yeah, they're now gone, you know, and when they first arrived, they were they were definitely a little bit nervous. And I just said, listen, it's as simple as this. Ireland during like the 70s and 80s was like, everyone thought the Irish people were all terrorists.
Exactly, I remember
like,
the
Irish
IRA.
Republican Army, they're all blowing up everything, and everyone thought that Irish people were terrorists, right?
Yeah,
and
so
then
true.
now no one thinks that anymore, and they realised that it was all contained to small pockets of conflict in small neighbourhoods in the north of Ireland, and the rest of Ireland was rolling green hills, lovely farmland, and extremely good hospitality.
Well, I think having Irishmen over here is even a treat as well.
Yeah, it is. Okay, but the thing is, you know, actually, no, you're absolutely right, because I remember in the 90s, when I was growing up, I was like, you did, even in England, when Ireland is so close, there was a big misconception, and
Exactly.
it's done by the media. The media, I think, you know, they are, I think they the biggest perpetrators of it. So now, let's move on to their...
That was a big term, man.
Yeah.
Let's not focus on it more.
Okay, so the thing is, when you brought your friends here, not your friends, sorry, the people, how was their experiences? What did they say now that they're back home? What's going on with them?
There was a few silent mouths for the first 2 or 3 days, and then they kind of warmed into it, and they realised that everyone we were talking to was really nice and welcoming. And now they're going back being like, you know what, that was a trip that I never would have done unless you had like encouraged me to do it and organised it. But I'm really, really glad I did it.
Okay.
It's like a journey of a lifetime. We've seen like some of the biggest mountains, sweeping valleys. We've seen hospitality that like, frankly, in Ireland is considered simply mad. It's insane, like, you know, why would people be that nice for no real reason?
Okay.
And like even now, like this, like they've been gone 3 or 4 days, and they're still writing, being like, you know, this is amazing, and they've all made good friends with each other. They're like, I want to keep traveling. Where can I go next? You know,
Oh, that's amazing.
It's like an adrenaline for them now.
Yeah, obviously I can feel the difference now, because when the last time I was traveling, and I'm not going to take any country's name, in fact. So what happens is that over there, even if people are going to ask for a favor or probably smoke, let's just say that even smoking is not good for your health, but other than that, even if people ask for it, so they'll be like, okay, we're going to give you £1, you know, you can give it to us.
You have to pay for a cigarette,
yeah, so now I can actually think or visualize that how you might be feeling, that for no reason people are actually offering you a cup of tea. But I think this is what the beauty of culture is anyways.
Yeah.
And even after the show, we're going to host you with a cup of tea and biscuits as well.
I had tea before the show.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
Or coffee.
Okay, so now, now that you've done this, now you've brought them here, you stayed back. What are your next plans? Like, what is the whole... Like, I know you said you wanted to promote the positive. You went and saw the Pakistani ambassador in Ireland. That's a lot of initiative. A lot of Pakistanis don't even do that themselves when they go abroad. So what are the next steps for you?
Well, first of all, personally, I'd love to discover more of the country. So I think next year...
So where have you been? Let's start from
Where
there.
have I been?
Yeah, in
I've done
Pakistan.
like Lahore, Islamabad, and a lot of the northern territories.
Like, do you remember the names?
Yeah, like Gilgit, Hunza, especially Karimabad, Gulmit, Gulkim. We've done Fairy Meadows.
Oh, you did, okay.
Did Skardu, which is really nice. Went to Kaplu Fort, had a great time. Like some of the photos you get there, it looks like you've pulled them off Google Images or something.
Really,
it's
yeah.
ridiculous.
And it's a photo from a phone, and you're like, I just took that.
I know, it looks like I've downloaded it off like Windows screensaver. It's like, that's amazing, you know?
Yeah, okay.
But I'd like to, next time, get a motorbike and drive from Karachi the whole way to Punjab, and then, you know, lead another tour. So I'm going to bring back a tour every year.
Okay.
Not like as a financial venture, purely just as like a, if I'm going to be here, I want to be here with people, because I get
just
great
bring friends
enjoyment
with you.
out of it, seeing them having a great time, you know?
Exactly.
And understanding that this is safe, and it is great.
Okay.
And exactly, you definitely need to change the place where you have been having all these adventures. So, you know, moving out from Ireland and going around in the world, I think will definitely make you learn new ventures.
Okay, so my next question is, okay, when you decided to have this adventure and you're picking countries, Pakistan isn't the only one that you have tried to show the alternative viewpoint. You also mentioned Iran and Iraq. Now, the thing is, I'm going to be very honest, when I think of these places, I think of what probably people think of Pakistan, but not Iran. I think of that as very evolved and very forward. But with Iraq, it is what the media has put into my mind.
And it's always in the media, right? Because we've had, you know, ISIS and Mosul and all the Peshmerga and all these armies. And so this is where kind of curiosity got a little bit much the better of me. When we crossed in by land from Iran into Iraq, we met a guy who offered us a very unique opportunity. So he was bringing down a French photographer to the front lines of the fight against ISIS in Iraq. And after bonding with this guy for a few days, he was like, you know what, it's all been covered. Why don't you just come down and you'll fully get to see what's actually happening?
Yeah.
And like, that's what I'm all about. So I was like, absolutely. So next morning, I hop out of the place we're staying, and there's like a personnel carrier there, a command of the Peshmerga army, this fixer, this French photographer, and me and my friend who were sitting there being like, is this a good idea? You know? But we did it anyway, and we drove past refugee camps and oil fields, and we went down, we met all these soldiers, and we were learning what's actually happening, who's fighting who, and again, we were like, you know, in this bunker at the front line, and they're like, would you like some tea? When I'm terrified, you know, and they're like, you know, posing with weapons and all the rest, and it was a very surreal experience, but it allowed me to fully see, you know, who's fighting who, why they're doing it, how they self-mobilize, and the effect that's actually happened, as opposed to what I've seen on the news, which was very, very, very different.
So then I think the last thing which I'm going to ask over here is, so now this time when you're going to go back, obviously since as an investigative travel blogger, you have to be very careful with your words. So now if you and this is the sole purpose of your visit is to promote the positive image of any country which you go to.
Yeah.
What words are you exactly going to use, if you don't mind?
For Pakistan?
Yeah.
For Pakistan, I'd give it, if I was to make it into a tweet-size statement, I would say the world's best hospitality. I would say the highest concentration of high-altitude peaks and sweeping panorama views in the world, and just a serious culture shock, you know? You walk around and everything you look at, you're like, I must take a picture of that, and that, and that, and that. It's like Facebook-like central, you know? Everything I put up, everyone's like, whoa, you know? Whereas, like, you don't get that with other countries. It's just so unique.
And we
so
definitely love to, we would love to have you again and again whenever you're going to come, because you just made a statement that you'll be bringing in people every year. So we'll love to have you over here on the show too as well. And it's
next
great to have
adventures,
people
new
like
adventures.
And I'd love to be here.
Okay, great. And so what is, after this, what's the next adventure?
The next adventure for me is, well, actually, I'm just opening up a hostel in Cambodia. So once that's up and running, and I'm going to probably do a little trip through Central and South America for about 6 or 7 months, just to discover a few things that I've been researching online, Vice style, you know, so see how that goes.
Excellent. And next time we're going to have images. Like while you're talking, we should have gotten your videos.
That would have been a great
idea.
But
next time. But thank you so much for taking the time out. It's been a pleasure. And guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. You know, it's someone from the outside who's come in and they've had a great time, which is great. So.
Exactly. And ladies and gentlemen, whenever you go to such high peaks and, you know, whenever you are visiting such mountains at high altitude, all you need to do is probably exercise your breathing. And I think this is what we are going to do in the next segment as well.
And even if you don't adjust, you can breathe. And let's do that. I ruined it. Okay, let's go for a short break.
The largest cultural activity in Pakistan is the annual National Folk Festival, Lok Mela, held in Islamabad in October each year. Over the past 2 decades, this festival has taken on an international flavor, and more than 20 different countries have sent their artisans and performers to participate in the festival. Nationally, the festival has become a thing of pride for artisans and performers who come on their own to participate. Most important of all, the provinces of Pakistan and Azad Jammu and Kashmir put up beautifully decorated pavilions.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PT while you watching World this morning alongside Maha Makhdoom and Shahzad Khan. Today, earlier on the show, we were being joined by William, who's actually visiting Pakistan, and he's a travel blogger as well. And he's going to promote the soft image. And whatever he's, actually what he's trying to do is that he's getting information firsthand and then going and telling the media that this is not what you were projecting and it's the other way around.
I know, and that's really great because then, you know, it's all this work that we're doing, then someone's going then trying to reinforce it. And like we said in the beginning, even if it's one person, that's one person more than there was before, and that counts.
Exactly, and he promised that he'll be coming back every year as well, so we'll definitely be having him on the show. But now, ladies and gentlemen, since he mentioned that he went to North as well, and for all those people who want to hike, and even if you don't want to hike, I think breathing is one of those things where if you control it, I think that you can release anxiety and depression too.
Exactly. Breathing is essential. I mean, if you didn't breathe, we wouldn't be alive. So,
But please make sure that your noses are clean.
Yeah.
They're not blocked.
Today, now,
because quite a lot of people, they even breathe from their mouths, and
Yeah.
I think it causes a problem. I just cannot even sleep because what happens is when you get flu, and if you lie down and if your nose is all blocked, you cannot even sleep because you have to breathe from your mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like,
yeah, okay, that's gross.
and you cannot even brush your teeth because
Oh God,
the air
stop,
can't go in.
stop. But also with the whole altitude thing is, I remember I went to Hunza and I was just feeling sick all the time, and it's about trying to get your deep breaths and opening up your lungs. So to discuss all of this, we've got someone who is an expert, and we haven't had her on the show for a while, and Shahzad's going to do the introduction.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by the one and only Mr. Mara Sarwat. He's a yoga teacher, a yogist, healer, and at Mind Sciences, I think.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
Thank you
assalam.
so
How are
much
you?
for inviting me on the show.
Thank you
Thank
for
you very much.
being here today. It's always
Thank
a pleasure. You're always so, positive and like smiley in the
I
morning.
try to.
I know, it's great.
All right,
I like
so what
it.
are the most common breathing problems which you experience when a person comes to you for yoga and then they're like, we are so tired already?
You have just mentioned, and I would explain that as well, that the biggest problem is not to consider the nose as an organ for breathing. And always, just when you keep on, when you are persistent about breathing from the mouth.
Yeah.
That is when you are breathing free. And when you are breathing free, there are different risks involved in that. Because there is a fine line of hair right inside your nose, which controls the germs and all that what is mixed with the oxygen you are taking into your lungs. So I think you should breathe organic, and you should fully use your nostrils. And the nostrils should be taken as a gift given by the nature to breathe in and breathe out. So use it.
And it's
Now,
even a sunnah to always breathe deeply.
Okay. Oh gosh, I always do such shallow breaths. Now the thing is, one thing which I always get confused of, and this varies from yogi to yogi, spiritual healer to healer to healer. Breathing in from the nose and out from the nose.
Yes.
And some people breathe in from the nose, out from the mouth.
What happens
Like,
is that
how does it work?
it is very easy to explain. What I do, I just regulate them when they're in my class. And when they're doing the pranayam, the breathing exercises, I always regulate them because I want them. That is the right way. You can do that. Always
Both
just-
ways?
Yes.
Okay.
Always go through with the nose. Like it's an essential to breathe in through the nose. And you can breathe out through the mouth. But in the beginning, I want my students to feel really bound to the fact that they should breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose.
And when you and you know, for all those people who are out there and who think that they cannot even sleep at night, I'm going to give you a very amazing advice, and that is that at night when you lie down, start to breathe deeply.
Oh yes, that helps.
Hold
you
it
a
for
lot.
2 seconds, and then when you release it from your nose, obviously, so then there comes a point after 5-4 breaths where you're like, oh, yes, I'm sleeping now, man.
You are
And it
sleeping
definitely helps.
You sleep so heavily then.
Okay, so shall we try some of, okay, no, before we try the different exercises, what are the different issues that can arise from not breathing properly?
You see that, you notice that mostly people are, commonly people are victim of sinusitis.
Yeah, I have that.
And they have the asthmatic problems.
Okay.
The breathing issues are there, the snoring issues are there, the psychological elements are present and prevalent in the slumbers which we have these days. And that is something which is disturbing.
Okay.
So it means that psychologically that the problem hits you when you are not using the right organ to breathe in. And there are different issues, like you are not having a good sleep, you're not having a good night's rest and all that, and you can't sleep even a wink of an eye. You are all the time just you are alert. So this shows that a night's sleep is essential, and that is directly related to your breathing system.
Okay, exactly, and that's then directly related to all the issues that we deal with.
Yeah.
But sorry, I just want to ask one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, what are you going to say?
No, I just wanted to ask, how do we actually increase the capacity of our lungs as well? Because what happens is that for somebody who's been breathing very shallow, I don't think that the lungs still have the capacity to do that, and especially if you're not even exercising. So how do we do it?
I think a lot of importance has been given to the physical exercises regarding yoga and other physical fitness routines. And this is a very good topic we are speaking on now, and I'm explaining and you were asking. And this is, just generating and spreading consciousness why the nostrils should be used. The thing is that we don't give importance to our nostrils. I think everyone else has the nostrils and the breathing system. But I think this is the mostly the thing which has been neglected over the years.
Okay.
And we don't pay any attention to it.
Yeah.
So I think whatever is available, you should make a full use of it. You should open your nostrils, and to increase and enhance the capacity of your lungs, you should always sit this way, like stretch your arms up into a seated mountain pose. This is not a rocket science. You can do it anywhere when you get up early morning, and just keep your upper arms at the level of your ears. Inhale fully, just bringing your consciousness and focus to your rib cage, and exhale fully.
I can't even do it.
I can't even do this.
Well, the exercise seems to be easy, but when you are doing it, it tells you that there's something when you are just straightening your arms up and stretching them up.
Looks like I didn't do my homework, and my teacher's like, raise your hands.
Oh my God. So 10 to 12 breaths in and out, and just the real thing is to, in this exercise particularly, the real thing is to not only to make use of your nostrils, but also to lock your exhalation right under your navel. So when you do it, that needs and demands a lot of energy.
Okay, excellent. Now
And a few more other exercises.
No, wait.
as well.
Before, I knew this is where you were going. This is why I wanted to ask my question. I shouldn't have let you go
I feel
first.
fresh all of a sudden.
Now, Shazad mentioned in the introduction that breathing does really play, you said the importance of the physical aspect, but also the psychological aspect. If you're suffering from anxiety, if you've got some sort of stress and you're starting to get that knotted pounding or whatever in your chest, how does breathing assist with that? I mean, people like you said, we don't pay enough heed
And
to
we have
it.
been talking about this pounding and palpitations quite a lot now as well.
Well, it's really important.
It is important, and that is a direct outcome of anxiety and stress. I can't understand why we don't show any gratitude to our internal systems working for us day and night. They give us health, life, prana, energy, and everything. And in return and in reply, what do we give to the internal system which is working?
Roti.
Delicious.
Oh my God. Stress, anxiety. And is this what they deserve? So always wake yourself up with a deep breath and just try to, just breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. Even if you are not, just getting up in your bed, you are just still in your bed, retired and all that. And just pay a lot of thanks and show your gratitude to your internal working systems. This creates a lot of good psychological effect on
At
your
least they keep on working.
system.
And it's true, because even in counseling, like a lot of the counselors, they tell you take deep breaths.
Oh, yes.
You know, especially when you're stressing out. So that's good. So let's do some exercise now before we run out
We
of
can.
time.
The silent meditation is there. You
Okay.
can give
So we've done
yourself-
this. We know this is to start practicing.
Yes.
Okay.
we
It's
can
to
start
enhance the
practicing
capacity
with
of our
this,
lungs, right?
The seated mountain. And the advantage of
mountain.
the seated mountain is you can even do it standing.
Okay.
But the only condition is to, just sit with a straight spine.
Straight.
And obviously, when you will be standing, the spine will be straight.
Okay.
And when you are sitting in your bed, you have to necessarily keep your spine straight.
Okay.
The other exercise is, another one is, just place your hands right here on your shoulder blades.
Okay.
And breathe in and breathe out, and just start moving your arms clockwise first. You can just keep a number, say 10, 12, 14 or whatever, and then just start moving the circular, keep the circular motions with folded arms, 12 anti-clockwise. And just breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. The third exercise is just spread your arms this way.
Sorry, Shilha.
Inhale up and exhale down.
I'm going to hit you.
And all these exercises do not need any space, like they only need a space of an arm's length and everything. And they can be done easily when you are wherever you
So
are.
these exercises are just
gonna
for
do
breathing, or do
exercises
we
now.
have other benefits of it?
They are for breathing, they are for opening up the muscles, they are for you to start your day in a good way. Like a lot of rigidity has been felt over the years. And it's a normal thing when you get up from a deep slumber, and even if you cannot sleep at night properly, when you get up, there is a lot of rigidity in your muscles.
Yes.
So when you spread your arms, the half of the limbs, and then you spread your legs this way, like stretching them, and then just bringing down your forehead.
Yeah, we
in
cannot do that.
opposite to-
We're gonna do
You
that
can,
right now.
I know that.
I can, and
cannot.
now that I can.
I wish
Not
I
right
could
now,
have a
man. I
mat
don't
and
want to
could
risk my
demonstrate
spine.
all the exercises.
Please don't. The
Yeah.
surface not solid enough.
Because the other day I was watching these pictures and she was so flexible, and I was like, man, I mean, if she can do it, I can do it too. So I tried, but I kind of ripped my jeans apart.
Well, thank you
so,
so
Yes,
that was
because
hard for me.
it's training and
Yeah.
it's regular.
No,
like-
but other than that, since
Yes.
we were talking about breathing as well, so I think breathing has to do quite a lot with gaining
It
weight.
also, Shazad, this is a very amazing thing that with people give more importance to physical asanas and physical fitness and everything. And this is amazing, and this is unfortunate that they consider that I should have a toned body. A toned body without health is meaningless.
Exactly.
It's nothing. If your internal system is not working, if you're not sleeping well, if your face is not glowing, if you're not showing who you are, I think it is meaningless.
Yeah, and we've seen all of these incidents as well, and we've been giving out public service messages where all of these people were going to the gym and they were using some anabolic or I don't know what kind of steroids, that they were so perfect, they had six-pack abs and everything, but the next day the guy died. After competing in a competition, just
very
because they had to
unfortunate,
dry their body out, they died. So please make sure, and I think I'm going to agree to serve with it, that's a great message. For all those people who are out there, it's not about being toned, it's about being healthy.
It is
it's
about
being
being
fit,
healthy,
and there are parameters for that as well. But
Absolutely.
now,
Undoubtedly.
to keep ourselves fit, now let's move from breathing. We have given away all these exercises.
The
And
shoulder
since you're a
one, this
yogi,
one.
so how do you think that people can actually, because I don't think that you can lose weight from yoga, can we?
We can.
We can.
We can.
Yeah, we can.
Or
A particular
alongside
circuit
diet?
exercise is also being
Power
offered.
yoga?
Power yoga, and there is one step ahead, that is the circuit training in yoga as well.
Really?
Oh, yes.
So obviously we cannot go to that
it's
level.
so
So let's start from a very basic level. So yeah, which exercises to do early in the morning for all those ladies who have to be at home, who are right in front of the stoves, looking after the kids. Let's give them something to do.
Always necessarily start from the breathing.
Okay.
Because yoga started from meditation, breathing, and just sitting silent, concentrate, just focusing right within yourself, bringing your consciousness to your internal system, thanking, showing your gratitude for being here, for being born, for being, just
myself.
for possessing a healthy system and all that. And then basic stretching is.
Yeah.
I wish I could have a mat and I
And it's
could do that.
positive reinforcement. That's part of like a healthy psychological personality
No,
anyway.
no, see, it has been noticed that being the ancient science and a lifestyle, yoga offers many levels of fitness at many
Exactly.
other levels, like psychological, spiritual, and it means the union of mind, body, and spirit.
Exactly.
So the balance and the harmony is kept, and when the balance is kept, all the fitness and the health levels are covered.
Okay. Now,
There were a few more exercises we wanted to do.
yeah, there will be. I just have one more question, because I know a lot of people that do yoga, but the thing is, these days you have to be careful with your stances, and because if you're doing an exercise or some form of activity, if you've got the wrong posture and the technique, then it's pointless, and you're damaging yourself even more. Like these drop lifts, I'm not sure how I feel
Very good
about those.
question.
So how do we find out, like, that our teacher or the person that we're doing yoga with is, not destroying our bones?
I think that the initial 2 or 3 opening sessions will the students and the people who are in search of good yoga classes are really aware because of the internet and all that.
Okay.
And there is a lot of information available on the net.
Okay.
And I think people are more
So do
aware
your
than the
research
teachers and
on
all
it.
that. But you can assess that what your teacher is doing, what are the breathing methodologies. But yes, I will also guide, and I will also say that always start your breathing exercises in the guidance of a trainer.
And when
Do
you
not
get your
go for
foot
that.
in the
Okay,
river,
don't
I think
do-
that's,
okay.
yeah, when you get your foot in the river, that's the only moment when you're going to get to know how shallow or deep it is.
Oh, yes.
And since I have seen my younger brother, Arsalan, and you guys might have seen him as well, he's working over here as a news anchor too, and he's been doing yoga for 2 years now.
Great.
And I can see the difference in how he was and now how he is. I mean, he's healthier, he's fitter, and he's
How is
slimmer
his-
as well.
Is he happier?
Yeah, he's happier, and
Great.
he's always
Great.
glowing, mashallah, as well.
Okay, so let's glow like our salon.
Yeah,
Teach us
let's
some,
do it.
teach
So,
us
so
some
tell
more.
us some
Some
basic
good-
exercises.
Some basic exercises. I always.
So and also all the men and all the women at the offices and their desks, they're like, what can they be doing?
well, that's a corporate question. A question relating to the corporate.
Well, we
yoga.
sit down a
Yeah.
lot too, so
Sitting down, you can move your spine in a good twist, and that is to start your day with. Always just start your session of yoga necessarily with breathing exercise. After doing your breathing, you can stretch your arms while being seated.
Okay.
I will keep this strictly to the corporate, variety
okay.
of
Yeah.
exercise which I have.
I mean, for all those people who have to sit, basically.
yes.
You can spread your arms this way. Inhale, open, and exhale. Inhale, open, and exhale. And then you can just keep your arms this way. Inhale, join, and exhale. And I would also inform you with one thing, that many people are coming to me and saying that, Sumera, this seems to be something, just doing our weight training and all that. Believe me, this is not weight training.
Okay.
This is just to open up your muscles, and do not take actual weights in your hands and do this exercise, because in that case, you won't be doing yoga, you would be doing the weight training. So it is this.
Okay.
And then just place your hands right here. Your elbows are up this way. Inhale and exhale.
It's like we're giving more space to the lungs to actually get more area.
Oh yes, because your rib cage is stretched, and when you are inhaling fully. When you are exhaling,
Is that
And even when we, get up after a long hour's sleep, I think this is the first thing we do.
Yeah,
oh
this is-
yes,
Yeah.
in a sort of angrai and all that.
Yeah.
And we can also go a step ahead this way. Inhale, up, reach up, and exhale back, and just repeat the exercise the other side.
So while doing all of these exercises, do we have to make sure that our eyes are closed?
Doesn't
No,
matter.
you.
Because when I see you, your eyes are always
I'm
closed.
in a habit of closing
Yeah.
my eyes and concentrating more in myself. And
You go internal.
yeah.
Okay.
So I really want to connect the inner to the outer kriya and all that.
Amazing.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay, so it's up to you. It's up to
And another very good
just
exercise.
very quickly, yes.
Very quickly. Inhale up and exhale down. This we have been doing. Just
Yeah.
do 100, and you will
100.
see the amazing results. And why we do all these exercises? Because we are seated, and because we want to open up the central nervous system.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure
Thank
to
you
have you on
so
the
much.
show. And guys, I know what I'm going to be doing after my kickboxing classes, because I need to increase my lung capacity. But if you want any more information about any of our show today, log on to our Facebook fan
Which is
page.
with the name of World This Morning.
Our Twitter page.
World This Morning with RDG.
Our Daily Motion and YouTube page.
World This Morning, World This Morning.
And the repeat is at
11 p.m.
Have a wonderful day. Be good, be safe, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow
Till
morning.
the next time, 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Thank you.